I'm just gonna settle this one for all of these people that don't think I have the right to come out here and speak my piece about my own situation as to how things happened and things like that. They suggest that I'm unwell, that I need help, blah blah blah. But you know the fuck well that any person has the right to their own emotional stance on things as far as that's concerned, and I'm not going to tolerate it coming from people that I had questions about the contents of their character, how you're going to move given the circumstances of what we grew up with. If you're not allowing me to get to that point, and at the same time, like, okay, for an example, my oldest brother never ever responded back to me, ever. Like, very rarely did he have anything to say to respond back to me about anything growing up and my questioning and my lettering him and this and that. And then just to say that just because just because I had a relationship doesn't mean that I think you should, is to suggest that there's foul play between there being the availability of not only there not being the relationship available, knowing far the fuck well why, but why do you have a relationship with him in this fashion that's secret and secretive from family as to how you're going to be moving and maneuvering in my life. And then as far as my other brother's concerned, he told me that when he went over to his house that he learned really quickly that I would never want to go there and this and that. Basically, like making it don't go there. Don't do what I did. Okay? Well, he did these things specifically, and they did these things specifically, not only knowing that I wouldn't have that relationship with him because it's just not going to be okay with me surfacing up this memory for them and for him. And then for him to tell me, my middle brother, to tell me that he's not going to be at his wedding, and then have him show up there, is exactly that kind of behavior that I'm trying to like get clarity on when I'm going in for these issues with therapy. And then they would need family counseling to get clarity for me in that fashion, and it's not being met by the availability of being able to get that. And so how is a person supposed to move? What's a person supposed to do when it's your own family moving in this fashion? And then to, after the fact of almost dying, my middle brother psychologically using that same word salad in an abusive way to tell me that at the that he was lucky to have meeting a friend like a godsend like Jesse in his life coming up at such a perfect time and blah blah blah, without or with wanting to tell me like these people care about me. It's just whatever. They put me up in this situation. They had everything in place meant to leave me for dead, perform this identity theft. And yes, I think that because of the insurance and the knowledge there, they have reasons on their own to also suggest in the opposite that, well, when he ends up killing himself, I'm not going to help with burial costs. Well, it's because it's the guilty conscience in reverse of what I'm speaking on, which is the identity theft, having a nice a nice podunky insurance policy out on me while I get pushed off in this kind of fashion. And after 28 years, and even after the length of growing up between just me and my brothers, nobody is going to be playing about me in that kind of way without being able to come and defend themselves in an actual fucking conversation with me about it, without having to fucking move so far and be all weird and cagey in their little fucking deceptive ways. Sorry.